to adding him to the mix here for our coverage this year. Scott Bovenkirk, you heard the words of wisdom from one of your former pupils, Keith Kinder, in your coaching days at Jimtown with the Jimmies. Your thoughts on Coach Kinder's comments?
Yeah, I think he's exactly right. I think as a coach going into that first game, you have so many different just questions. There's just, your stomach is turning right now. Did I cover this? Did we cover that? The kickoff starts, watch the ball go over your head. Just little things right now are going 1,000 miles an hour. After that first play and you got to call that first down, then things will quiet down. But right now it's a very nervous time on both sides.
Butterflies, butterflies, butterflies. And Lucas Primrose will start this football game as Marion will kick off. I did not see the coin reenactment down on the field, but Mishawaka, whether they won the toss or how it was deferred, but the Cavemen are going to get the football first, and tonight they are debuting. Those on the Mishawaka Network can see it, but those on the radio envision a kind of a slate gray. It's a gray on gray, maroon and white look, Under Armour product, and it is a sharp-looking new set of unis for the Mishawaka football team. Primrose with the approach. Cavemen will go left to right, and this high floater will go back to around the 15-yard line. On the run, fielded there by Bryce. Brought forward to the 25, 30, 35, 40. He breaks it over the field to the 50. He's going to go to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Mishawaka! Man, what a way to start it.
Nice call by our sideline reporter who highlighted Ethan Bryce.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. And right along for the ride with him was Brady Newsom as they ran the last 35 yards with basically no one having a chance to bring down Bryce. And with that kick return to start the season, we are 13 seconds in. Mishawaka up 6-0. And now the point after conversion here to add the extra point.
I'm going to call it an 82-yard kick return. But again, all my statistics are highly unofficial.
Very unofficial with the asterisk, they say. Lucas Larson out of the hold. It is a bobbled snap on a low shotgun snap. Now a reverse toss pass, kind of a backwards lateral almost, but Brady Fisher in a 9-1-1 mode tries to throw it into the end zone for an intended receiver down on that far side, but it goes incomplete. Intended out there for Trey Dunning. But 13 seconds in, the Cavemen draw first blood on the kick return. Ethan Bryce going to Pater. Timeout on the field, 11:47 just here in our first quarter. 6-0 Cavemen. We're back after this. 96-1 the time on the Mishawaka Network.
After World War I, the American economy was booming and...
Say again?
In mid-2020, provide commercial roofing installation services for local businesses and institutions such as Studebaker, Bendix, and Notre Dame.
It's over with.
The other way is, oh my goodness, here we go again. So let's see how Marion reacts to that punch in the mouth.
The Knights offense returns 5 seniors from a year ago under 6-year head coach Mike Davidson. They, as we described earlier, going right to left, targeting the north end zone here at Steel Stadium, which the fans are still filing in for. And the handoff on the inside goes to Brian Osman. He slides to the outside, has the first down out past the 35. And a little shake and bake move as he's run out right at the first down marker at the 37, a gain of 10. So first down, this time by Marion, and it's presented by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. 6-0 Mishawaka. You're like, wait a minute. It just started. Yeah, you missed the opening kickoff and an 82-yard touchdown run by Ethan Bryce, although the point after conversion with a bad snap was failed. And that sets us up here currently at 11:30 to go in our opening period. Marion on the first carry with a first down and 10-yard pickup. Bryce Lassane, starting quarterback a year ago, and now a senior, will catch it. Toss sweep it near left side. Osman, he will leap over the offensive line, and he will get met shoulder pad to shoulder pad by the mainstay of this Caveman defense, Carmine Orozco, coming from the defensive end position. Orozco a year ago with 56 tackle points, 48 solo tackles. Well, there's his first in the 2023 season, and I think Osman will remember him after that. He had a gain of 5.
Marion all wearing wristbands, look to the sideline, get signals from their coaches, tells them the formation and the play.
They will run with a wing and a wideout both to the right. Single setback is Osman and a wideout here near to the left. On 2nd and 5, long snap count. Lassane takes a snap, rolls right, in the pocket, lots of room, lots of daylight, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he's tripped up right near the first down marker. Going to be very close. They will say a first down on a gain of about 4.
Yeah, Lassane is an athlete. They want to get him outside where he can run or throw.
So Lassane able to spread the field there just a bit and get the Caveman defense in a bit of trouble. And another first down sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. 1st and 10 from the 42. Just shy of midfield now. Lassane in the shotgun. Again, single setback to his right. Little pitch sweep. Right side Osman has blockers. Gets to the outside. Past midfield. Past the 45 and dumped it around the 43-yard line. A nifty gain on first yard of about 7. Let's introduce the starters for Marion offensively. At center, you note they will start just 5 seniors on their offense, but 3 of those are on the offensive line. Chris Biones at center, Carson Jank and Mark Warbington are at the guard positions. Giovanni Garcia Delarte is a tackle along with Harrison Grenner. Those are the starters on the offensive line for Mike Davidson and the Mishawaka Marian Knights. Bryce Lassane, we mentioned the quarterback, 6'1", 195-pound senior. We'll share some of his numbers from a year ago. He struggled. He struggled as his team struggled, going 2-8 on the season. 2 wideouts, 1 left, 1 right, single setback, a little dump pass out of the backfield. It'll go to Braxton Brooks, who was the lone setback, and Brooks is able to spin out to the right side and knocked out of bounds right around the 40-yard line in Mishawaka territory. So a gain of just a handful there. It'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 7.
It's a first down, Brian.
Oh, sorry. I'm watching the wrong chain. I guess I'm in preseason mode too, aren't I?
2nd and 2, they picked up 3.
So at the 40, Marion just getting ready to get settled in for the snap, and we've got somebody either with a equipment malfunction. It is Carmine Orozco. That is not someone you want to have waved off the field, but he will step off, and the Cavemen will go to the depth chart for some help defensively. So Lassane will set his troops and reset the stage here on 1st and 10 from the Mishawaka 40. Marion with the ball, trailing 6-0. Lassane takes the inside handoff. Brooks gets it, turns, spins up forward, and he'll push forward for about 3 yards. Dumped right near the 37-yard line. So right now, after the disastrous kick return, Marion has answered the bell, and they're doing a great job of moving the football on the ground. Here as they try to answer the Cavemen quick score just 13 seconds into this contest.
Running the ball a lot to the outside, getting the edge on the Mishawaka defense right now.
Wide out to the near left-hand side. Single setback just to the right hip of Lassane. He'll take the snap, pitch it sweeping right. Osman, he will have the first down and more. Push past the 30 to around the 25-yard line. So Osman doing a great job. He was the workhorse last year with 151 carries, 539 yards, 4 touchdowns, averaging just 3.5 yards, but he certainly is equaling and improving on that stat here in this early stretch and early going for Mishawaka Marion as they're on the march here trying to answer the Caveman score at 7:36 here first quarter.
Brian, a lot of this has been run out of a bunch formation by Marion. In other words, they have a tight end flex just a little bit and then a slot receiver and a wing right next to him. So 3 receivers at the end of the line gives them great blocking angles on the Mishawaka defense to get outside.
Got 4 receivers, 3 left, 2 right, little dump pass to the near left-hand side. It is caught around the 25 and with blockers out front pushing past the 20 to the 18-yard line. Catch and run there for Lassane. And he's able to connect for some nice yardage. Reception made by Lapino Sete. He a year ago rushed for just 143 yards, but kind of a multi-dimensional athlete. And he's someone on the depth chart that the Cavemen are well aware of. Toss sweep, Osman, left side, breaks a tackle, turns, spins, breaks another tackle, and he is dumped down inside the 10-yard line, and he gets to the 5. A pickup of about 13 yards.
Yeah, once again, the bunch formation into the boundary, block down and pull a guard, and that guard leads up the hole. It's like the old Packer sweep in our day, Brian, with the pulling guards and the blocking down and kicking out. It's just out of a different formation.
Keith Scheiko off the bench on the depth chart, coming up with a big tackle right there, but it sets Marion up with that 13-yard pickup for first and goal to go from the Mishawaka 5. 6 minutes exactly here in our opening period from Steel Stadium. Snap, toss sweep, out to the right. Osman, lots of room, runs down to the goal line. He's spun down past the goal line and tackled, but before that, it is a touchdown Mishawaka Marion. Brian Osman on the sweep right. He was the workhorse in this very, very impressive drive to bring Marion back in some momentum in their favor, answering the Caveman touchdown on the kickoff return to begin this game. And they chewed up some clock there as well, actually just shy of a 6-minute drive. Point after conversion now from Lucas Primrose, 5'11", 181-pound junior. Waits for the snap. Good snap, good hold. Line drive kick, it is up, and it is wide left. Just hooked it wide left. So we will be tied as we go to the timeout. 5:51 to go, first quarter. Things are just a-brewing here from Steel Stadium. Opening night for the 2023 high school football season. Our score, Marion 6, Mishawaka 6. It's Cavemen football on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
The Mishawaka Education Foundation presents Pages in Time.
About that, the approach and the kick by Primrose. Fielded at the 10 by the Cavemen. Brought straight forward again by Ethan Bryce. This time, though, it'll be a little shy of the 82-yard return. He'll be dumped after about a 22-yard return at the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. But Mishawaka with good field position is able to go to work on their first offensive snaps of the season. Brady Fisher, the seasoned and veteran senior quarterback who rushed for 1,180 yards a year ago, 12 touchdowns. He threw for over 530 yards and 4 scores in total offense. He netted 1,713 yards on the season as a junior. Caveman club that went 10-2 last year. A very inexperienced offensive line, although they will start 4 seniors there, though, starting 5. And Fisher with the fake to the fullback, Norvell Miller. And Fisher on the keeper himself, scampers out past the 35, tripped up just past the 36-yard line for a short gain of 3, maybe 4. It'll be second down for the Cavemen. Up front for Mishawaka, this new look offensive line will pit Eddie Rodriguez at center, a 5'10", 225-pound senior. At guards, Trevor Went, 5'11", 250-pound junior. And number 65, Ethan Williams, 6'3", 300 pounds. He is a senior. Handoff, Fisher fakes, toss sweep outside. It was kind of a timing pattern that just never materialized. And the option pitch left for this K-Man Flexbone offense was shut down for a loss on the play. I believe it was Eason Bryce who got the football on the pitch. Was screened, did not see exactly who it was. I'm assuming it was Bryce, but nonetheless bottled up for a loss of the play. And on that, a loss of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 8 now for Mishawaka. It's at their own 35-yard line at 4:35 to play here in our first quarter play. 6-6 tie up the middle. Blast off center stage, and Norvell Miller will get back the lost yardage, get back the needed yardage, and a few extras out to the 45. First down, K-Man, brought to you by Kevin Putz, First Midwest Mortgage.
Yeah, just a fullback dive. It's 3rd down and 7, and it doesn't matter what the situation is. If you are not going to stop the fullback, they're going to give him the ball. And that's exactly what happened. Picked up 10 yards in the first down.
The rest of that offensive line, Matt Willis, the lone starter from last year's Caveman offensive core, and Aiden Brooks, they were the starting tackles. Now to the outside, Brady Fisher on the inside fake. He'll run it himself for the first down past the 40, up to the 35, and tripped up from behind at the 30-yard line. Gain of 25. Brady Fisher with a great read and even a better run.
Yeah, did a great job of the fake. The trap. He faked the trap and then kept the ball turned up on the second part of the option. And he was into the secondary in a hurry.
So the Cavemen go to work again with Rodriguez, Williams, Went, Brooks, and Willis, the new look starting 5 up front for the Mishawaka offensive line. Brady Fisher will settle in behind center. He will send a man in motion, fullback, quick hitter, right up the middle. It'll be a blast for Norvell Miller. 5'9", 200-pound junior. He rushed for 165 times for 830 yards a year ago. He averaged 5 yards per carry, and certainly he didn't hurt his average there as he bulldozed his way straight forward for another Caveman first down out past the 32-yard line, brought to you by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. Clock on the move now as they reset the chains. 3 minutes, first quarter, and we're knotted 6-6 Mishawaka and visiting Mishawaka Marion. Cavemen will go to work. Fisher settles in behind center, then steps back and now retreats back under center behind Eddie Rodriguez. Long signal count, turns, hands off. Miller, the fullback, will look right and then cut back to the middle past the 20, dumped at the 19-yard line, a short gain of 2.
Gain of 2.
Where this is going, Brian, it's going to be whoever breaks serve.
But before we continue, we have an injury timeout in the field for Mishawaka Marion, so we will take a break. 2:32 to play here in our opening period from Steel Stadium. 6-6 our tie. Cavemen and Knights back after this on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what
Matt, where are all these network commercials coming from?
Not a real word. But let's be honest.
Loaded it up with those for some silly reason. I don't know what
maybe can we shuffle them around a little bit and play them at the end or after the game or something?
After World War I,
Jeepers. Yeah, I'm going to talk to traffic.
Major industrial centers of the Midwest.
Ridiculous.
In this environment, Midland
I know we're
Engineering was
required to
founded
play
in
them, but
1922
I got
to provide
sponsors
commercial
paying
roofing
good money to
installation
be at the
services
game.
for local businesses and institutions such as Studebaker,
I'll go home and get my
Notre
Irish
Dame.
Spring out.
Midland Engineering was built to serve its customers best by combining the
shed.
latest material and
Who's hurt out
application
there?
technology with the
think it's
commitment to
53.
service and uncompromised craftsmanship. And 100 years later, Midland Engineering
another one.
is still serving
Hit
its
another
customers
30.
the same way today.
Are you an experienced auto technician with a drive for great customer service? Kick your career into high gear and come join the team at Ron's Grape Road
50.
Automotive.
50.
Ron's treats customers the way they want
Okay,
to be
give me a
treated
bumper
and
coming
never
back.
oversells. They offer up to a
50.
six-figure salary, health insurance, paid vacation with
Eric
weekends
Logan.
and holidays off. Want to apply? It's easy. Stop by Ron's in Mishawaka, near the intersection of Grape and Catalpa, next to Goodwill. Ron's Grape Road Automotive, when you expect the best.
We're in the U.S. Signcrafters Studios with a quick update for you. NLC scores all non-conference. Northwood with an early 8-0 lead on Jimtown. Tippy Valley leads Wawasee 3-0 late first quarter, and also late first quarter Concord with a 7-0 lead on Elkhart. As we send it back to Steel Stadium, here are Brian Miller and Scott Bovenkirk.
Well, that will not be the last time this season you hear the voice of Matt Embry with our updates on the U.S. Signcrafters scoreboard and much, much more. He is the man that keeps this ship rolling. And thank you, Matt Embry, for a great, great job. And now, after the timeout, Cavemen go back to work, having a little chance to catch their breath. And Brady Fisher on the quarterback keeper on 2nd and 8 pushes it forward past the 10, down to about the 9-yard line. So a nice run right there for Fisher and the Cavemen. And it will be a first down and goal to go, as it's a pickup of exactly 10 yards. Got the first down, sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. And we will tell you that the injured Marian Knight was a 6-foot junior, number 50, Eric Logan. And Logan shaken up, and he was assisted off the field by a couple of teammates for the Marion High School. We will certainly cross our fingers to hope to see him back before this night is over. 2 minutes to go on the quarter. Handoff, actually a fake to Miller on the left side dive play. Great call, great read by Brady Fisher, and he's in for a Mishawaka touchdown. There was a gaping hole on that left side of the offensive line, so hang a star on that.
Did the same play as the other big one where they faked the trap. They pulled the guard and everything on the trap, and then if the defensive tackle closes down with the trap, it leaves a huge gaping hole for Fisher to turn up in, and that's just exactly what he did.
Brady Fisher with his first touchdown score of the season, and now out of the hold of Fisher, Lucas Larson will lace it up and nail the extra point through the uprights. He splits the uprights with a timeout on the field of 1:51 to play here in our opening frame from Steel Stadium on the campus of Mishawaka High School. Our score, Mishawaka 13, visiting Mishawaka Marion 6. You're in 2 with Caveman football on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. For a high school football game, opening night for 2023. And we've seen kick returns. We've seen a couple of hard hit defensively. We've seen a couple teams that know how to run the football. And we've traded scores. And Mishawaka scurries back on top 13-7, or try 13-6, a 7-point lead. And the Lucas Larson kick He had just one touchback a year ago, and guess what? He's equaled that already here with his first kick sailing into the end zone. And with that touchback, Mishawaka Marion will start 1st and 10 at their own 20. Both your thoughts on the first roughly 10 minutes of football?
I'm hoping we see a little defense step up right now.
But it's overrated. It's overrated.
But for now, both offenses seem to know what they want to do. And they've obviously been the story of the first quarter.
Let's introduce that Mishawaka LOD defense. They sport 5 returning starters from a year ago with a 3-4-4 look. Jason Martin is the defensive nose tackle in the middle. Trey Dunning is 6'3 junior. And Carmine Orozco, what a specimen he is, getting Division I looks from many schools. He starts on the outside of the defensive line, although he came out a few plays earlier. And I have to take some inventory here and take attendance to see if he's back out there for the Cavemen. You certainly do not want to be without him. And now on a shotgun snap, Bryce Lassane gets pressure from front side, left side, and right side. And now a penalty flag thrown. And it's probably going to be some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct.
No, I think, Brian, he's calling intentional grounding.
Wow.
I don't think there was a receiver in the area, and it's going to be a spot foul. And
well, the officials are sorting it out. Well, if you watch that, I'll tell the listeners and the fans on the Mishawaka Network the other starters defensively for the Cavemen. Camden Putz, 5'11 sophomore. Jackson Snyder, a 6' junior. Xavier Juarez, a 5'9 junior. And Isaiah Butte, a 5'10 junior. They are the foursome on the linebacking core for this Caveman defense. And in the secondary, a very veteran group coming back with Jack Troyer, Brady Newsom, Trey Thomas, and the newcomer starter, Jaden Parker. So the penalty against Marion backs them up to the 8-yard line, and they'll now face 2nd down and 22. Shotgun snap. Lassane looking right, fires a laser over that right side of Braxton Brooks. They could not connect. There was good coverage in the area, but it was very, very close to the original line of scrimmage, which would have netted about 12 yards. But it'll be 3rd and 22 now. And with the incompleted pass, the clock stops at 1:42, first quarter here from Steel Stadium. A beautiful night, as we mentioned already, here on the home turf for the Mishawaka Cavemen, and they lead it 13-6 late first period of play.
Yeah, that wound up being a 12-yard penalty on the intentional grounding. Really hurt the Marion drive.
4 receivers, 3 right, 1 left, single setback, play fake. Lassane in motion, throws out into the right pocket and has room. He found a crease there for Braxton Brooks, and Brooks coming across the field from the near Caveman sideline across to the far Marion sideline, catches it on the run, short of the first down, but does pick up some nifty yardage. You gain him about 14. Clock continues to roll. Now it's 4th down, 4th and about 6, long 6, short 7.
I don't know if Marion realizes that this is 4th down. I don't know if they...
And now one of the Cavemen defenders trying to anticipate the snap, jumps. The guilty party would be 6'2 senior Jason Martin. And you could hear the oohs and the ahs from our crowd mic outside. So the officials will sort out that penalty, give 5 yards back to Marion rather. And now instead of 4th and 6, it is 4th and 1 with 1:01 here in the quarter. And it's, by the way, still 4th down. I'm assuming Marion knows that now. From the 29. Single setback. Wing right, shotgun snap. They'll toss, sweep it out to the right. It is Osman. He will shake and bake in the backfield and finally surges forward for the first down and more. Past the 30 to the 33-yard line. A great second effort there by the Marion 5'4". Yes, 5'4", 145-pound junior. He's tough to tackle. But the first down, sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage, puts Marion in business. They had a great drive back at the early stretches of the first quarter after Ethan Bryce started the party here on opening night with an 82-yard touchdown on the kick return to begin this game. Marion went to work on a 6-minute drive. They would score on a Brian Osman 5-yard TD, miss the extra point. And then Mishawaka came back and answered 5 minutes later, or rather 4 minutes later, with their own score. Shotgun snap. Lassane back to pass. Looking near left. Catching is Brooks. Brooks deep in the backfield. But now he breaks free. 40, 45, 50. He's got one man to beat. 30, 35, down to the 20, down to the 10, and pushed along the sideline. Is he in or out of bounds? Trey Thomas with the touchdown saving tackle. But a flag coming way back here at the Mishawaka 40-yard line. Now, the catch had already been made by the time anybody got to the 40.
This is probably an illegal block downfield. It is a block in the back.
Against Marion.
Which is, it's not a smart block because the ball carrier was already beyond. The block didn't have to be made. Coaches go nuts on penalties like that.
So what you're telling me is in the video room, the recap of this game, Mike Davidson and staff will probably point that out.
Yeah, I think.
So the Cavemen get a break. Big break on the penalty because that wipes out what would have been a gain of about 70 yards. Now we'll reverse it back to a gain of about 25, and they'll put the football just past midfield at the 49 with 1 tick remaining in this first quarter clock. Bryce Lassane looking to the far Marion sideline for a play. The play clock is down to 6 seconds.
Yeah, still a first down.
CD is in motion now, sets up wing right, back to pass, rolling out. Clock is expired. Lassane will put the brakes on, goes up for the pass. Ball deflected in the air. Loose ball, is it a fumble or is it an interception? They're going to say it is a fumble ball recovered by Mishawaka on the final play of the first quarter. Lassane had time, he had space, put on the brakes and tried to do maybe a little too much for the moment, and coughed up the football, and Mishawaka has recovered it. So that's how we end the first quarter. 12 minutes in the Bucks here from Steel Stadium, and our score: Mishawaka 13, Mishawaka Marion 6. It's opening out of high school football. You're in two with the Cavemen on 96 Run the Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
Dear
Little pitch. Ethan Price connects downfield on the far sideline. It is a touchdown or no. They're going to say the Cavemen were out of bounds, but a little flea flicker on the toss. Fisher to Ethan Bryce. And Bryce connects out there with Trey Thomas for a long reception of about 35 yards.
Oh my gosh, Ethan Bryce all over the place today. Like you just mentioned, the kick return, and now he's throwing the ball too. Like, absolutely fantastic play.
Brady, I got to ask you, are you the chairman of the Ethan Bryce fan club?
I think I am now.
You are now.
After this game. Wow.
I would agree. Well, what a great start. We'll catch up with you at halftime, and certainly at halftime some comments from football coach Keith Kinder for Mishawaka. So what a big play to start this second quarter, both. Now Fisher takes a snap, keeps it, spins, right short of a touchdown, or did he get it? Yes, he broke the plane. Fisher breaks the plane for a second score. Touchdown, Mishawaka. So they come out with a right
Brian, the best time
chops.
To come out with a trick play is after the quarter. There's no question. You can set it up on the sideline, in the huddle, you can get everything set. So you have to tell your defense, anytime you come out of a quarter change, watch the trick play.
Well, the Cavemen certainly executed it to perfection. Ethan Bryce's pass to Trey Thomas set things up, and then one play later it is a Brady Fisher field goal, or rather touchdown, and now this point after conversion for Lucas Larson is a line drive knuckleball that splits the uprights. So time out of the field. We've played just 16 seconds in our second period. Our score, 11:44 before halftime. Mishawaka 20, Mishawaka Marion 6. You're in 2 with Mishawaka Cavemen football right here on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. If you stepped away, you missed some fun.
No tee. Ball's not on the tee.
Lucas Larson will try the onside kick, and it will be chased down by the Cavemen, but it will be going out of bounds just past midfield. It went the required 10 yards, but Mishawaka unable to chase it down, and it ricocheted off of one of the special teams members out of bounds. So a penalty will give Marion very, very fine field position to begin this possession and what is the early stretches of period number 2. But think about this. The Marion penalty brings it back. They do not get the score. One play later, Keith Scheiko with a fumble recovery, then a halfback pass and a 2-yard touchdown run by Brady Fisher. The halfback pass, we'll estimate it at 40-plus yards. But either way, what a swing of momentum. And some big, big plays have really, really bounced momentum like a pinball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that's basically a 14-point play because you take 7 away from you, and on the next play, they and think about this. Mishawaka scores the first 13 seconds of the game on a kick return. They score in 16 seconds to start the second quarter.
What took them so long, right? Is that what you're telling them? Back to pass, near side, Lassane connects with Brooks. Brooks breaks a tackle, cuts back inside from the outside and the sideline area, and from the 45 pushes forward for the 49, just shy of midfield. But right there, Keith Scheiko. Scheiko's had a heck of a ball game. He came in for Carmine Orozco, and I have to tell you, I don't see Orozco on the field. In fact, now that I look down closer on the track area, he's getting some one-on-one attention with Caveman trainer Hannah Hess. That is the last guy Keith Kidder wants to see on the sidelines, and I'm wondering if there's maybe not a concussion protocol. Because remember, the official called time and waved him off the field.
Correct.
So he must have got his bell rung, or the officials did not like something they saw on the play that they asked him and escorted him off the field. And now a timeout taken by Mishawaka Marion. They were facing 2nd and 5 from their own 49-yard line, but just couldn't get the play off before the play clock was going to expire, so we will take a timeout. Bob, it's great having you back. You and I spent 5 years on the radio together, and the DJ business was good to you, but you just couldn't stay away from football, I guess, right?
That's about it. That's about it.
What's new in your life?
Not much. I did miss high school football, and it's great to be back. It's great to be back with you, and just excited to be. Yeah, I mean, I got here at 5:30 tonight, and they were already lined up to come in the door. I mean, that tells you how important football is in the Mishawaka community.
Big, big deal. No doubt about that. And next week it's going to be a big deal because the Cavemen and Penn will renew the backyard brawl rivalry. We'll be at Freed Field next Friday night right here on 96.1 The Ton. So the timeout by Mishawaka Marion. And now they'll come back after a gathering of the minds across the far side. And they'll reset the offense now. Seedy in a wing left. Now Brooks will shuffle from the outside or from the outside right wing to a far outside wide out. Shotgun formation. Lassane, he is not happy with somebody out of position. Now they will shift. And now they'll reset. Play clock at 3. Handoff Lassane. Inside it is Osman. Osman with a little shake and bake move past midfield. And he's brought down right at the 45-yard line into Mishawaka territory. We will call it a gain of 6. Hey fans, to win in sports, you have to adapt your strategy as the game changes. The same is true in the investment world. Edward Jones advisor Ryan Watson, he can help you. Call him today at 574-675-0168 or stop by his office, see Ryan Watson, and tell him thanks for sponsoring high school sports on the radio. His office on McKinley and Osceola. Edward Jones, member SIPC. So after the 6-yard pickup, second down, or check that first down here at the 10-minute mark in our second quarter. Shotgun snap, little fake by Lassane, and he'll dump it on the underneath coverage. Catch there by Seedy. He'll swing to the outside, breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles, and tiptoes the sidelines past the 30, and run out of bounds around the 27-yard line.
Ran a little slap drag with 16, and Seedy, is that how you pronounce it? Seedy ran from the slap position, let everything clear, the linebackers drop, and he was wide open for a nice gain.
Cavemen will rotate players out, including Jason Martin getting a breather for the Cavemen defense at 10 minutes to go in the first half. They lead it, Mishawaka on the home turf, by a count of 20-6. Marion on the march, though, on the first down. Sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. Inside handoff, it goes to Osman. And Osman got some pursuit from both inside and outside on the defense and got tripped up. If he doesn't lose his balance there, he might have had about a 10 or 12-yard pickup. Instead, he's tripped up for a very, very short gain of about 3. It'll be second down, and we'll call it 7.
Nice little cutback play by Marion. They give the ball to the right. They pull the right guard, and he wham or kicks out the defensive end, and he cuts underneath that. Just the cut was a little too drastic and couldn't stay on his feet.
In the shotgun, Bryce Lassane waits for the snap from Briones. He'll get a nice snap right at the belt line, then he will afterwards try to kind of makeshift his move, looking right, looking left, little shuffle step, and he'll push it past the 25 to the 24. We'll call it a gain of about 3.
It's kind of a quarterback run. It's just a power play, pull backside guard and tackle to try and lead up, and just a power play with the quarterback. You're seeing that a lot with the Justin Field type guys. I'm sure you're going to see it in Indianapolis this year.
Third down and 6, 8:30 before the half, and a little slant pass out to the right side on the screen. And a catch good for a first down and a couple extras there by William Owens. Owens on the catch from Lassane. Lassane a year ago threw the ball only 178 times. Wait a minute, what do you mean only? Because Mishawaka didn't even think about throwing the football 178 times last year. He was 77 for 178, 43% completion ratio, 3 touchdowns and over 850 yards. He rushed for only 100 yards on the season, but a little different look for Marion's offense this year. And a group of young men that are much more seasoned after a 2-8 campaign 1 season ago. Inside handoff, it will be very little running room there for Osman. And he is greeted by Carmine Orozco, and that is great news. So Orozco, who was on the sidelines, must have been so excited to get back in the game. He had to make a big play, and he did, for a loss of yardage, a loss of about 2.
Yeah, that's first tackle for loss. You said Orozco's back in the game, and that is Mishawaka's first tackle for loss of the night.
He had 7 of those a year ago. Tackles for a TFL, tackle for loss. 7:45 to go. Coming up our halftime report here on 96.1 The Ton. We will have our weekly visit by Dean Huppert. And this time around, he will visit with the superintendent of School City Mishawaka, Dr. Theo Stevens. Look forward to that interview and much more coming up at halftime. Now shotgun snap, rolling out right. Lassane, lots of time. Now a late blitz comes on. He'll throw underneath coverage, but out of bounds was the intended receiver who tried to come back against the defense of Brady Newsom. Jack Durrell was the intended receiver out here. He was a receiver good for about 25 yards of receptions a year ago, but has not caught a pass yet tonight, and that was his first attempt thrown in his direction.
Well, and one of the problems with rolling out, when you roll out, the advantage is I get outside the pocket, I have vision on half the field. The disadvantage is you're basically only playing half the field. And they had Osmond wide open to the left, but your quarterback is rolling to the right.
Well, keep in mind, Osmond's only 5'4", so it's even more difficult to see him. And I'm in the 6 foot and under club, so I can say that. A little dump pass near right side. The pass out of the backfield caught by Seti, and then he will sweep to the outside and have his feet swept out from underneath him at the 15-yard line. They will mark the football right at the 15. And now Mishawaka Marion on 4th and 9, 4th and 8 actually, will face a big 4th down. Under 7 minutes to go here in this first half of football. Mishawaka leading right now by 20-6. Not that this is a must-score situation, but certainly this could be very, very big on how the rest of this half plays out, and momentum going to the locker room at the break. Lassane and company not liking what they see, but actually Mishawaka more so not liking what they see, decide to burn a defensive timeout with a big 4th down play upcoming. So we'll do the same at 6:36 to play here in our second quarter from Steel Stadium with Scott Bovenkirk. I'm Brian Miller. We're back after this. Mishawaka leading Marion 20-6. We take this timeout at 96-1 the time. The Cavemen dodged the extra point bullet, but Marion does score on that big play on 4th down on the touchdown reception by Braxton Brooks. Timeout at 6:27 here before halftime. And our score, Mishawaka 20, Marion High School 12. You're in 2 with Mishawaka Cavemen football, powered by Midland Engineering on 96.1 The Ton and our friends on the Mishawaka Network.
You can't slow down time or rewind it, but you can be there for every moment, big and small. The speaking part in the school play. Acing the test they studied so hard for. Sinking that three-pointer to win the game. We're right there with you. At Mishawaka.
will kick it deep and field it on the run at the 10-yard line by Mishawaka. 10, 15, 20, 25. Look out now. 30, 35, 40. And run out of bounds right along the far sideline. The Cavemen kick return team there. Nifty return by Jaden Parker. 5'11" sophomore getting the starting job in the backfield as far as the secondary is concerned on defense. And here on special teams, boy, first touch of the football was impressive as he sets his team up with nice field position. They officially mark him running out of bounds at the 39-yard line, but nonetheless, good field position for the Cavemen as they try to answer the Marion score and add back to their 8-point lead. Again, Mishawaka up 20-12. Cavemen will hustle from the near side, and notice Carmine Orozco is heading out along with Trey Thomas. So Thomas will line up wide to the far left. Zach Moore, the starting split end, coming to the near side. Now they'll send Smith in motion on the fake, and there'll be the fullback run up the middle with Novell Miller. We mentioned Zach Moore getting the start at split end, the 6'2 senior. He is starting tonight, was sharing duties there on that split end position with Addison Cannon. Cannon suffered a knee injury in practice earlier this week, and I know there are some tests upcoming in the next few days, and we'll cross our fingers for his well-being and get him back in game mode. But other than Cannon's injury, came in a pretty healthy unit, according to Coach Keith Kinder when I met with him earlier this morning. That's good news after a hard couple of weeks of camp and practice time, and now a penalty flag on the Cavemen as they set up offensively on 2nd and 2. That Novell Miller run of 8 is going to have some negative yardage pushed back against them for a false start Mishawaka. That'll cost them 5 yards, and instead of 2nd and 2, it'll be 2nd and 7.
It's going to be 2nd and playing a little Canadian football. We had guys in motion all over the place.
Well, Canadian football does score a lot of points.
Yes, they do.
And we will say the defense has shown up much better than the first half of the first quarter when it was kind of a track meet out here. But right now, Mishawaka with a 20-12 lead, 5:20 before half, and they have the football going right to left. Brady, toss sweep, near side, running room. Ethan Bryce gets stopped, stutter steps, breaks free, past 50, and forward into Marion territory, dumped at the 48-yard line. That's a great second effort by Ethan Bryce.
Yeah, 11-yard gain on 2nd and 7 and keeps the chains moving. Still 5 minutes to go in the half. Plenty of time. Mishawaka has 2 timeouts.
And an Ethan Bryce first down, sponsored by Kevin Putz, First Midwest Mortgage a year ago. Bryce rushed 20 times for 193 yards and 4 touchdowns. We had the... I wonder how many times that's ever happened in Mishawaka history to start off the season with a kick return. That sounds like a Dean McCool project to me. Mishawaka football historian will be on that, if not already. Hand off, a fake to the fullback, and a keeper by Brady Fisher, and he will spin free to get the penalized yards back, and a couple of more out past the 45 to, we'll say, the 44-yard line. Gain of about 7. So guess what? 4:15 to play. We're at 2nd and 5. Mishawaka would love nothing more than do 2 things. Keep the ball the rest of the quarter and score just before halftime.
Yeah, they want to score in the last play of the half. That's the goal right now.
Trey Thomas, Zach Moore, the wideouts, right and left respectively. Now, Caden Smith in motion, fakes it. And now he'll get it on the little pitch. Outside from Brady Fisher, and Smith, as he jumps into the air, he is pounded and is dropped just past the 30-yard line. Ball on the carry, good enough for another Caveman first down. We'll call it a pickup of 15.
Yeah, that's the first time they've come back with the triple option all the way to the 3rd option or the pitch. The first time they ran it, Marion really did a nice job and stuffed it. This time, great blocking on the perimeter, and they were able to pick up 14.
So Caden Smith on the carry, getting his first varsity start, the 5'10", 175-pound junior. Clock at 3:20 to go. 1st and 10 Cavemen, sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. Man in motion. Brady Fisher, inside handoff to the fullback Miller. And Novell will push forward for a short gain And that will take the clock under the 3-minute mark here before halftime.
64, Mark Warmington on the tackle.
Cavemen looking to the near sideline, getting to play from offensive coordinator Kyle Shaw and his squad. Kind of excited, speaking of assistant coaches, we will have Corey Betzer joining us up here in the booth after the game for some detailed post-game commentary and comments and thoughts. And we'll also visit with Keith Kinder, thanks to Brady Gallo's sideline report coming up at halftime and in our post-game show too. Handoff, Brady Fisher with a quick hitter again to the fullback. And a quick blast up center stage results in a pickup of about 2 or 3. Miller again, the ball carrier. He was a workhorse a year ago. Remember, he was not a full-time starter because he was the backup to Chase Gooden. But Gooden, with a very severe shoulder injury last year, forced Miller into action. And as a sophomore, he responded with 830 rushing yards, an average of 5 yards per rush. And 13, that was a lucky number, 13 touchdowns for the Cavemen, who won 10 out of 12 games last year. Motion, and I'm surprised there weren't penalty flags on the play, but a little inside pitch. Near side, it is Ethan Bryce. Bryce passes 20, spins free, and 3 white jerseys after wrestling down just shy of the 15-yard line. I thought we had motion there, both.
Yeah, it looked a little awkward, but I think the defense jumped, but must not have entered into the neutral zone.
Either way, no penalty flags on the play. Cavemen with the first down, sponsored by Kevin Putz, First Midwest Mortgage, and at 1:30 to play. 90 seconds in this first half. Mishawaka looking to add to their 8-point lead. They lead it 20-12. Brady under center. Fisher behind Rodriguez. Waits for the snap. Turns. Fakes the handoff. Keeps it himself. He'll push forward. Out past the 10. Down to the 5 and stretches forward to the 4-yard line.
Once again, they faked that fullback up the middle. I don't know if it was midline or trap, but Fisher keeps it and carries all the way down to the 5-yard line.
22, Lucas.
Pickup of 19.
It's going to be first and goal. Cavemen to Knights 4.
So
That play's been money all night long.
With 2 timeouts in their hip pocket and 1 minute remaining here in our first half of football. Mishawaka hoping to add to their 8-point advantage here before intermission. Caden Smith, while the Cavemen are waiting for a play to come in, is kind of addressing a left shoe issue. Clock is still moving, though. Mishawaka in no hurry.
Timeout.
And now they'll burn the timeout at 1 second left on the play clock, and we'll do the same. With 36 seconds before halftime, we will take a quick timeout with Mishawaka leading Mishawaka Marion 20-12. Don't go away. Big scoring opportunity for the Cavemen just around the corner. Back after this on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. Touchdown, Cavemen. Lots of confidence in your offensive line, lots of confidence in your fullback, and lots of confidence in a veteran and a very, very good quarterback, Brady Fisher.
And Marion stayed in a four-man front, and I think that is because of the triple option. They have to defend the fullback, they have to defend the quarterback, and they have to defend the pitch, so you don't see a goal line defense from them.
Novell Miller with his 14th varsity touchdown on that score. Now the Lucas Larson PAT is a knuckleball line drive through the uprights, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 33 seconds to go before halftime. Cavemen with a big tally to grab some momentum, going to what they hope is the locker room here shortly. Mishawaka 27, Marion 12. This is Mishawaka Cavemen football on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. But it is a no ketchup Chicago-style hot dog shirt, and it has a little White Sox logo on it, so I consider it my only Sox shirt.
Okay.
Some of my Cub fan friends will not speak to me when I mention that.
All my teams are bad, Brian. All my teams.
Well, the good news is in both Central Divisions you can be bad and still maybe win, so who knows? It ain't over till it's over. I think Yogi said that at least twice. 32 seconds here. This one's far from over, but Mishawaka with that last score. Novell Miller's first tally of the season. And now Marion going to work here in the latter stages, and he'll throw it underneath. It is intercepted, stepping front of Owens. William Owens, the internal receiver. An interception by the Cavemen, picking off Bryce Lassane. And now do the Cavemen have a little magic with one timeout remaining for maybe another score going to the locker room?
Yeah, well, you can score from right here. Mishawaka can score on any play. I mean, the plus 30, the fullback is still in play. The pitch is still in play. Watching Brady Fisher warm up, he throws a nice ball. You got Trey Thomas at wide receiver. There are a lot of options available right now with 26 seconds and one timeout.
So the Cavemen with the interception. I didn't get the license plate number of the defender, but the pick by Mishawaka gives them the football, 1st and 10 at the Marion 24-yard line. Fisher rolls out on the motion. He'll throw it underneath to Ethan Bryce. Bryce, for a moment, I thought was maybe going to try to lateral behind him, but he opted to just hold on the football. He was ripped down. Now he's hobbling just a little bit as he gives up
himself. That may be a costly 2 yards.
At the 30-yard line, but they'll mark him with forward progress, and Mishawaka will burn their final timeout of the half. We're going to keep it right here, and we'll set the table coming up for our halftime report, which is sponsored by the Mishawaka's Education Foundation, granting a better future. Special salute to Jane Wright, the executive director, and her team. They are amazing with the work that they do for so many different fundraisers and their generosity for the school corporation. And their very incredibly important fundraiser tomorrow night at Notre Dame. If you're not able to attend and have not bought tickets to do so, do the online auction and check out some amazing auction items that you might be surprised on what you can take home for a donation. But we salute the Mishawaka Education Foundation for their support of School City Mishawaka and certainly our coverage of high school sports here on the radio on 96.1 The Ton. So after the timeout, Mishawaka with 18 seconds left, no timeouts remaining. Marion, you do note, has 2 timeouts as Mishawaka looks to add to their 27-12 lead. Fisher takes a step, straight drop, looks left, throws left. Trey Thomas, the man, leaps in the air, has the catch, but he is knocked out of bounds.
Mishawaka, we don't have a referee down there.
3rd and 8.
Are we going with a short crew tonight? And I don't mean in height.
Well, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5, but typically this line judge is going to sprint down there on a pass, and he never left the line of scrimmage.
So that incompletion was actually a catch, but ruled out of bounds. So an incompletion stops the clock at 13 seconds. And now
high school, I only need 1 foot. Anyways.
Fisher under center, takes a snap, strut back, looks left, throws left, has Trey Thomas, intended receiver, but overthrows him out of bounds. We're down to 8 seconds.
Trey Thomas. It's going to be 4th and 8.
There's no doubt Trey Thomas is the intended receiver.
Yeah, they're running trips to the right. They're singling up Trey Thomas here on the left and getting one-on-one coverage and hoping just for a jump ball. They got it on
I will tell you,
down.
Trey Thomas is one of the best athletes on this football field. If you're going to have a jump ball.
He was on crutches last week at the scrimmage.
Well, that's not good news. See, I told you you're only supposed to report positive news. Fisher on 3rd and 8. Back to pass. There was a laser beam near side. The underneath catch by Trey Thomas and shortens the lead and the distance out to about the 19-yard line. And now they're going to bring Lucas Larson in with 4 seconds to go for a possible field goal. And this makes it exciting going just before halftime. To also tell you about one of our new sponsors, Centier Bank, making a donation every time the Mishawaka Cavemen and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish kick a field goal this football season. They're making that donation to the Boys and Girls Club of St. Joe County. So let's see if Lucas Larson can help the Centier Bank cause on field goals for a community. He'll line it up. Line of scrimmage, the 19, a 29-yard field goal. This one has the distance. It has the accuracy. It is up. It is good as we go to halftime.
Nice.
With the Lucas Larson connection at the break. We go to halftime here from Steel Stadium. A little extra momentum for the Mishawaka Cavemen. Time out of the field. We are at halftime, and we invite you to stay tuned. Our halftime report sponsored by the Mishawaka Education Foundation is just around the corner. Mishawaka 30, Mishawaka Marion 12. We're going to head downstairs, though, to check in with Brady Gallo on the Mishawaka Network. Brady, what do you have for us? Well, I think we've lost Brady momentarily. Unfortunately, we lost Brady. I think we have a battery issue downstairs. But we are at halftime. Our score, Mishawaka 30, Mishawaka Marion 12. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with our halftime report coming up after this timeout on 96.1 The Ton.
You can't slow down.
You got a dead battery down there because I don't have this.
The Mishawaka Dance Team. Now welcome back the Marching Cavemen. This year the Marching Cavemen are bringing you the music of Foo Fighters. First up tonight is Learn to Fly. At our next home game, we will add Times Like These. Cole Sanchez, is your band ready? Marching Cavemen, take the field. Let's hear it for the Marching Cavemen.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA. This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Knighty. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Community, collaboration, teamwork. This is what local means to TLCU Financial. In our community, everyone plays a part, and we're here to play ours. As a credit union, it's what we do. Welcome to TLCU Financial and bank like a local.
Hi, I'm Vicki. To become a member, visit us at tlcufinancial.org or stop in at our Mishawaka branch across from John Young Middle School. Your credit union, your way.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA. High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
12. We'll have second half play-by-play after this timeout on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. Is affiliated with none other than 960 AM WSBT. I'm sure most of you people in the radio land knew that, and a part of our Midwest Family South Bend stations, and for many, many years, the WSBT radio group. But 960 AM, 101 years old, is celebrating by bringing Bob Lovell and Indiana Sports Talk on the air Friday nights, and we will join that after South Bend Cubs baseball over on the AM side at 960, so you Caveman football fans can tune in and catch interviews and insight, and certainly all the scores from around the Hoosier State with Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk, will be coming up on 960 AM at 9:30 or immediately following South Bend Cubs baseball. But we debut that tonight on opening night of the high school football season. Bo, we heard the words from Keith Kinder. You gave us some of your thoughts and insight. How important is this first 4 minutes? I know Kinder really focused on that.
It's what you want to do. Keith's exactly right. Win the next 4 minutes.
Lucas Larson with a pooch kick that will take a funny hop around to 30, fielded there by Mishawaka Marion and returned for no return yardage. In fact, maybe a lost yard or two when it's all said and done. On the special teams play, Quinn Roan was able to short hop that like a shortstop, and then had to play dodgeball with a whole bunch of Caveman special teams defenders. Lucas Larson having a really good night in the kicking game. Had a field goal to send the fans certainly to a delightful retreat at halftime. And as we mentioned earlier, the field goals for the community is a new partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of St. Joe County, and most importantly, Centre Bank donating $10 for each Mishawaka field goal this football season, and also each Notre Dame football field goal. And they're prepared to make a difference for the Boys and Girls Club of St. Joe County. That is Centre Bank. So we start the third quarter. Possession to Mishawaka Marion, and oh wow, not the start that Mike Davidson and the Knights wanted, because they, before they even snap the football, have to burn a timeout.
Brian, they're trying to run a lot of motion and different formation. They're stemming from one formation to another and then running a man in motion. Obviously, it's something that they've practiced on, but they're not beating the play clock, and either they're not seeing, sometimes that tight end isn't on the line of scrimmage, sometimes he's supposed to be. I don't know what the situation is, but by the time they get that going, this is the second time they've had to burn a timeout. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to just confuse Mishawaka with their secondary coverages.
So the Caveman defense will try to lace it up tightly here as they prepare for battle with Marion in this third quarter. And Bryce Lassane, after the timeout, takes a quarterback shotgun snap and kind of in almost a wildcat formation, runs the ball right up the middle for a short gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just underway here in period number 3. Mishawaka leading Mishawaka Marion 30-12. Cavemen looking for their 3rd consecutive win against their parochial rival from the Princess City. Lassane in the shotgun snap. Takes it, turns, spins, fires, far right side. Brooks with a catch. Right along the sidelines. He is bottled up immediately. And maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain is all. He is shy of the 30-yard line.
Little split end screen. Quarterback turns. Wide receiver blocks. The slot back takes a step back, catches the ball. Mishawaka defended it very, very well. Only a gain of about 3 yards.
And Brooks is shaken up on that far sideline. I don't know if he's got a cramp. But the Marion coaching staff and athletic trainers are working on him as he caught that ball and fought for an extra yard or 2, but then got thrown out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. So after he is tended to, Marion will face 3rd and 6 from their own 29-yard line, trailing by 18 points, 30-12. Mishawaka with the lead. And again, just underway here in period number 3.
Brooks is down out of bounds, but so close to the sideline that they can't afford to run a play. So now he's getting up to his feet. I don't know if it's a cramp or a lower body injury, but he's making his way back to the bench, and we can resume.
Fans, we can tell you tonight's third quarter is sponsored by Ron's Grape Road Automotive, located on Grape Road near Catalpa in Mishawaka, next to Goodwill. Ron's reminds you to have your car's oil changed every 3 months or 3,000 miles. Ron's Grape Road Automotive, proud to bring the third quarter of action to you here on the radio at 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. So all bodies are cleared. Everyone has been checked into the first aid station if need be. Let's hope that Brooks is back quickly for Mishawaka Marion. His team now facing 3rd and 6. Lassane in the shotgun formation. Osman flanked just to his left. Here comes a blitz. Pressure. Lassane airs it out downfield. Is up for grabs and deflected. Almost intercepted, but a good defensive play by Trey Thomas. Intended way downfield for junior William Owens for Marion High.
We may see our first punt of the game.
Well, I said earlier, I guess I lied. I said we've seen about everything. So you are correct. We have not yet seen a punt. But right now on 4th down and 7, or a very, very long 6, punting time we would anticipate at 10:31 first quarter for Mishawaka Marion as they're back inside their own 30-yard line. And we'll see what shotgun formation. Back to kick this ball away. Good kick, but it goes straight up. Lucas Primrose got underneath it. It takes a Marion bounce right at the 45 and rolls deeper into Mishawaka territory. It is chased down by the Marion special teamers at the 35.
35-yard punt, no return. Mishawaka did not even have a defender back.
Didn't want to take any chances.
Nope. You don't fumble them that way.
So Mishawaka will go to work looking to add to their 30-12 lead. Cavemen certainly with a heavy graduation loss, but with a fairly rookie offensive line, although there's lots of seniors there. But I know Keith Kinder talked about that in the pregame show, about having the program in place where you had so many underclassmen and even juniors playing JV or roles last year are stepping as seniors, and it's their turn now. And certainly that shows maturity and shows commitment and hard work. And I'm not wanting to sound like a cliche, as Brady Fisher on 1st down takes the snap on the quarterback keeper, turns and spins off right tackle and runs into a pile after a 9-yard gain. So 2nd and 1 at 10 minutes exactly here. Third period of action from Steel Stadium. Beautiful Mishawaka High School. You could not ask for a better weather. I'm not sure which area meteorologist we want to credit, but they all did a great job giving us a great weather night.
We're going to get, this is kind of misleading because we're going to get those dog days coming yet.
Well, you're saying we're going to pay for it, eh?
I think so.
Fisher on 2nd and 1. Looks, fakes in, throws up, connects with Ethan Bryce across the right side. The little look downfield and found a sliver of opening for Ethan Bryce, and he and a Marion defender are both shaken up on the play. Bryce is kind of like in a squatted catcher position, and he hobbles to get up and gets immediate attention from Coach Keith Kinder and also trainer Hannah Hess. Meanwhile, there's a Marian Knight player down right at the 25-yard line, and after traffic clears, we can tell you that is Harrison Gibbons, a 5'9" junior. So he and Ethan Bryce got tangled up after Bryce's amazing catch. He's had a heck of a ball game, starting off with a kick return of 82 yards.
Yeah, can't afford to lose him. He is vital not only in the offense, but on special teams. I got that as a 29-yard pass. A throw and a catch.
So an injury timeout here at Steel Stadium. Both Mishawaka and Marion with players shaken up. Currently, they're tending to Marion's Harrison Gibbons, and with this injury timeout, we'll take a break. 9:26 to play here in our third quarter from Steel Stadium. Mishawaka leading Mishawaka Marion 30-12. We're back after this timeout on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. We are back here to Steel Stadium. Both players for Mishawaka and Mishawaka Marion off the field, and then on the first snap after the injury timeout, it is Norvell Miller. He'll take it off right tackle and blast it straight forward for a pickup of about 8, just past the 20 to the 19-yard line. So we're under the 9-minute mark here in our third quarter. And after we started with a flurry of scoring in the first half, and particularly the first quarter, things have calmed down, and Mishawaka's defense was up to the task, held Marion on their their first possession on the most recent possession. The first possession of the second half, and now after forcing Marion to punt, the Cavemen are right now in the driver's seat using a little clock and also looking to add to their 18-point advantage. Brady Fisher under center. Inside handoff, fullback Norvell Miller will surge forward to the 16. Gain of 3.
Wanted to, Marion stemmed right at the last minute to try and create confusion on the offensive line. But when you just turn it around, give the ball to the fullback, the offensive line fires out, they block whoever is in front of them in their gaps, and they pick up 4 yards in the first down.
So the Cavemen with that first down, sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. Let's tip our cap to this Mishawaka offensive line with 4 starting seniors, although only 1 returning starter. That would be Matt Willis at outside tackle, 5'11", 250-pound senior. He's teaming up there with Ethan Williams, Trevor Wendt, Aiden Brooks, and center Eddie Rodriguez, who will snap the football now to Brady Fisher. They will hand it off again to the fullback, Norvell Miller. And Miller with a short gain off to the right side of about 2.
84, Caleb Johnson on the tackle. Gain of 3.
Miller getting up kind of a little woozy, it looks like, or just maybe having a shoulder pad issue. He gets some help from one of his teammates, and now on 2nd and 7, the Cavemen go to work with 7:10 to play here in period number 3. With Scott Bovenkirk, I'm Brian Miller. Of course, at the end of 3 quarters, we'll check downstairs with Brady Gallo of the Mishawaka Network for his insight and thoughts. Brady Fisher using the play clock down to 10 seconds and counting. Checks the architecture of the offense with a wide out left, wide out right. Now man in motion. Fakes the handoff to the fullback. He'll keep it and follow the wingman who was a blocker up the middle. And Brady Fisher able to pick up some nifty yardage there and come close to the first down, although about 1.5 yards shy. It'll be 3rd down. An interesting 3rd down call here for Mishawaka.
3rd and 2. 33, Jake Murphy on a tackle.
Cavemen that time saw Tim Kay come in at the halfback position, with Ethan Bryce rather shaken up a little earlier, but Kay did a great job on that block to help free Brady Fisher for some good yardage. Now the handoff, Norvell Miller, big hole off on the fullback blast right side, and Miller is in for a Mishawaka touchdown. 8 yards, and I'm not sure there was any defender touching him until he got to the goal line.
Now, Keith Kinder wanted to control the first 4 minutes. Well, they controlled the
Mission
first
accomplished.
9. Yep. Nice turnover or a nice a defensive stand to get Marion 3 and out, and then a nice drive here, 65-yard drive, culminating in a touchdown.
Point after conversion now, Lucas Larson out of the hold of Brady Fisher. The snap is there. The kick with some sidewinder spin to it inside the upright and good. Point after conversion makes this Mishawaka 37, Marion 12. 6:07 to go 3rd quarter. We'll continue with more from Steel Stadium after this timeout. You're tuned to Mishawaka Cavemen football on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
After World War I, the American economy was
7
booming, and
plays,
South Bend
65
was one of the
yards.
major industrial centers of the Midwest. In this
7.
environment, Midland Engineering was founded in 1922 to provide commercial roofing installation services for local businesses and institutions, such as
Yard line, fielded on the run by Elliott Jack, or how about Jack Elliott? That sounds a lot better.
Okay. Nice return, a 14-yard return. They'll take over.
Well, I thought you meant a good comeback on me on flip-flopping the first and last name. But it was a better kick return, yes. And that will start Marion now in good field position at the Knight 30-yard line. And right now Mishawaka has grabbed Big Mo momentum. And they are dominating this 3rd quarter, forcing Marion to punt earlier in their only possession, and then finishing up the score on a 65-yard drive that took 7 plays. Chewed up about 6 minutes on the scoreboard, about 5 minutes on the scoreboard, and now the handoff goes off right tackle. Knights keeping it on the ground, and that rush there good
Osmond,
to about the 35, but we've got a shaken up player on the very far sideline again. Brian Osmond, the 5'4", 145-pound junior. He was the leading rusher for Marion last year through 10 games, 151 carries, 539 net yards. And I believe he is the injured Knight across the field. Oh, actually, I take that back. There are Marion trainers looking, but it is actually a Mishawaka player down. So injury timeout on the far side of the field as the training athletic staff from both schools take a look. And as I say that, now getting to his feet and hobbling just a bit is Trey Thomas. Yes, the Trey Thomas that you talked about was on crutches in the Mishawaka football scrimmage last Friday that they played here at home versus Elkhart. Well, Thomas
got to come out for a play. He's jogging off, so that's a good sign.
That's a really good sign. Maybe a little stinger. So he will head off to this near Mishawaka sideline with his team leading on the home turf, 37-12. And now Bryce Lassane and company will go back to work with a shotgun formation. Low snap, little toss sweep, right side. Osman breaks a tackle, pushes to the outside, has the first down and more past the 40 to the 44-yard line.
Brian, last two plays, Marion has been back in to the bunch formation like we talked about. And on the last two plays, they've gained 8 yards and 7 yards. This is what was successful for them in their first drive of the game.
Knights again chasing a 37-12 deficit. Checking the armbands and plays from the far sideline, and Coach Mike Davidson and their offensive coaching core. Lassane in the shotgun formation, waiting for the snap. It is low. He digs it out, turns to the outside left, and as he gets it past the 45-yard line, he gets thumped defensively by Jackson Snyder. What a hit.
Yeah.
Snyder from the will linebacker position. And that had no fancy tackle for loss numbers or a sack. That was just a flat-out great tackle.
Yeah, Lassane was going to run the speed option into the boundary, and it looked like he was going to outrun some of the defenders.
Well, everyone except Jackson Snyder.
And all of a sudden, Snyder laid the wood to him. I didn't think he saw it coming. If he did, he would have pitched it.
Pick up there, good for 5. 2nd and 5 at 4:15 to play here in period number 3 from Steele Stadium on the campus of Mishawaka High School. Lassane, and now we got motion on Brian Osman and the Mishawaka Marian Knights. That's going to cost them 5 yards of real estate.
Procedure, Marion.
So the false start, procedure penalty. And we remind you, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs a little more attention and deserves that more so, well, Edward Jones can help. Stop by Edward Jones financial advisor Ryan Watson's office. He's a former Mishawaka Caveman. Why wouldn't you go see Ryan? At 10775 McKinley Avenue in Osceola, that is Ryan Watson, Edward Jones, member SIPC. So 2nd down, shotgun snap, it rolls on a short hop. It is caught on the near side. Seti was juggling it as he turned and looked upfield, and then he is hit by Isaiah Butte and members of the Mishawaka defense. Let's introduce, if you did not hear our introductions earlier, and references to some of these starters and members of this defense. Carmen Orozco, Jason Martin, and Trey Dunning are in the trenches in the 3-4-4 defense. Camden Putz is at the Mike linebacker position. At will is Jackson Snyder. At Sam linebacker is Xavier Juarez. And at the jack position, Isaiah Butte, who just had that last tackle. And they will team up defensively with a veteran secondary of Jack Troyer, Brady Newsom, Trey Thomas, and newcomer Jaden Parker. Handoff and/or keeper by quarterback Bryce Lassane, and he tries to swing outside. It does so for very, very little gain, and you can hear the Caveman fans in the background celebrating the tackle there by Carmine Orozco.
Yeah, that was a busted play. I think the center snapped the ball and nobody else moved. It's one of those hike it on 2. No, I'm going to hike it on 1.
Or 1.5.
Yeah.
2:34 to play here in period 3. He's Scott Bovenkirk. I'm Brian Miller. Glad to have you with us here for week number 1 of the Indiana High School football season on 96.1 The Ton. And those, of course, viewing it on the Mishawaka Network. 37-12. Mishawaka on the home turf leading city rival Marion. Back to pass. Lassane airs it out. Downfield has a man. Up for grabs and is incomplete. Intended out over the middle, but Jaden Parker coming up with the deflection.
4th and 10. That is a great no catch. If it's intercepted, it's going to be as good as a 35-yard punt.
Good defense right there. Jack DeRoll was the intended receiver. So Mishawaka will take over, and they'll hope here with 2:14 to play third quarter, they can continue their third quarter dominance, and they're hoping to add to their 25-point advantage. Brady Fisher and the Cavemen will trot from their huddle. And now they'll settle in on the offensive line under center Eddie Rodriguez. We'll wait for a signal from veteran senior quarterback Brady Fisher. His Caveman club has looked good here tonight. Two receivers, one left, one right. Fullback blast, he fakes it to Novell Miller, and Fisher on the quarterback keeper slithers to the outside and picks up yardage from the 35 to the 40, a pickup of 5. It's always nice on first down when you can get half the needed real estate.
Yeah,
makes the offensive coordinator really happy, doesn't it?
The goal is to get 4 yards. The goal is to get 4 yards on first down. Anything beyond that is obviously a plus. What did they say now? You're ahead of the chains when you hit 5 yards.
2nd and 5. Cavemen taking the play clock now down to 14 seconds. And they'll employ a wide out left, a wide out right, wingman left and right. Those are the two halfbacks, Smith and Tim Kay. Now handoff, fullback blast up the middle. Not much running room there for Novell Miller. Miller is met by Caden Lee, the 6'1 sophomore. Among the others in white and silver for Marian. Knights on the road tonight in their traveling white jerseys. Silver pants, silver and the royal blue helmets. Cavemen with their new look gray on gray. I don't know if this is considered the alternate uniform or if this is going to be the home look. Not a traditional maroon, but going gray on gray. I love them, but I will say they're not the easiest numbers to read.
No, they are not. And thank you for saying that. I thought it was just my old eyes.
Oh no. Even with the binoculars on here, it's difficult. 34 seconds in the quarter. Toss sweep, near side, tucking, running, and hello, Caden Smith gets upended after a short gain of 3. He had momentum, he had some blockers, but Marion defenders had other ideas. Chase Bays in on the hit from the right quarterback position.
It's going to be 4th and 2, one of the few 4th downs that the Cavemen have faced.
And I do believe they're going to let the final seconds of this third quarter just chew away, down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, and we're at the end of 3. 3 quarters of football are in the books here from Steele Stadium. And let's check in downstairs with the Mishawaka Network's Brady Gallo. Brady, how things looking?
I mean, things are looking good. As time's running out, it's looking more bleak for the Marian Knights. For Mishawaka, looking great. Lost Ethan Bryce. I just heard from him. He's done for the game. And might as well sit him. This game's looking pretty out of reach. So wise decision there by Coach Kinder. But yeah, this Mishawaka offense is totally clicking with like an unexperienced O-line. The running game really has not missed a beat. Novell Miller playing fantastic. So it's really, really encouraging to see. Hopefully we can continue this for the rest of the season and for the rest of the quarters. Keep on winning those 4 minutes, like you said.
We'll look forward to your post-game report. That is Brady Gallo from the Mishawaka Network after 3. Mishawaka 37, Marion 12. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Fourth quarter next on 96.1 The Ton.
Since 1978, Pet Refuge has meant shelter.
Needed a pet refuge, a food bank, and a Barnaby's, right?
Yeah.
I just fished those out of the South Bend Cub stack.
Thank you.
Refuge needs
just this one.
With all the ones, I didn't know which ones were good and which weren't, so I just went to that. So
you done good. Thank you, sir.
And maintenance. If you can spare 4 hours a week, you can make a difference. Go to petrefuge.com to fill out a volunteer application or visit their shelter Monday through Saturday between 10 and 3.
For many children in northern Indiana, school meals
I only wanted
the
a 30 there.
That's
all right. Let it go. Let it go.
I'm Mary Jo Martinek with the Food Bank of Northern Indiana. Our Food for Kids backpack program supplies students
if we go to Brady with those quarter breaks, we only got 30 seconds.
$150 feeds one child for the school year. Help provide kids with tools to be successful in school and life. Find out how at feedindiana.org.
We turn the page to quarter number 4. Along with the Hall of Famer Scott Bovenkirk, I'm Brian Miller. Cavemen in the driver's seat heading to this fourth period, leading the Marion Knights 37-12. First play of this quarter, saw Novell Miller blast off up center stage for a carry, good for some yardage, and now it is Brady Fisher calling his own number 12, and he'll surge forward for a first down and more. He needed about 8 yards, got that and more out past the 20 to the 19-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 11, and a first down sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. Both your thoughts on this first 3 quarters, but in particular, this last 12 minutes have been impressive.
Mishawaka has been building in momentum. They started out excellent with the kicking game, struggled a little bit on defense, but their offense was looked good. They came out in the second half. They have looked very good on defense as well.
The Mishawaka will be more than happy to chew up clock time and nurse this fourth quarter clock. Right now facing 1st and 10. Brady Fisher, inside handoff, Novell Miller, and Miller short gain to the 17. He'll pick up 2. Next week, these two teams, both with big non-conference foes waiting in the wings. Our Cavemen will travel to Freed Field over in Osceola to play the Penn Kingsmen as the backyard brawl returns. We'll have all the action right here on 96.1 The Ton. And these Marian Knights will have their home opener against the Eagles of Culver Academy. Cavemen continuing to nurse the clock and letting the play clock now trickle under 5 seconds. Under centers Fisher, takes the snap, crisscross the backs, and getting caught up in the web of defenders. That there looked like Tim Kay. And Kay is stopped for a very short gain.
Tim Kay, the ball carrier, no gain.
So it'll be 3rd down.
Primrose on a tackle. It's 3rd and 8.
So in the 25th meeting, Mishawaka with this win would get their 3rd consecutive victory against Marion. And if I did my math right, they had won 10 of the last 11 meetings against the Knights, a series that in earlier stretches and earlier years was dominated by the Knights program. But of recent history, Mishawaka has had the answer against Marion, and now Mishawaka, the Cavemen on the home turf, will burn an offensive timeout. Facing 3rd down and 8, we will take a break. 8:51 to play here in 4th period action from Steel Stadium. Mishawaka 37, Marion 12. We're back after this on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
If you're craving a really good pizza, head to Barnaby's in Mishawaka or Granger tonight.
at the 20-yard line.
Brian, that last Mishawaka drive, it was 11 plays, only 55 yards, but it burnt over 8 minutes off the clock.
Well, you note they scored at the 6:08 mark in the third quarter to advance their lead. And now with this tally, they add 7 more to make it 44-12. Little toss, near side handoff from the quarterback Lassane. And again, Brian Osman, who has worked his tail off tonight for the Marion Knights. And after a very impressive first quarter of moving the football by Marion, Mishawaka's defense has kind of settled in.
Yeah,
and had a much better performance.
Just came back with that bunch formation again, and that's one of the few times that Mishawaka's defense has shut it down. But to shut it down on first down is huge. Now
So
they're bunched to the wide side of the field.
2nd and 8, Lassane in the shotgun. He'll turn, dump it off to the left, out of the backfield, the catch and the run, out to the far sideline, up past the 30 to the 35, and just past the 35 to near the 40. The catch by Leo Setti with the catch and run. He'll pick up a first down, sponsored by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage, and that forward progress knocks him out of bounds just shy of the 35. They mark him at the 34 to be exact. So at 5 minutes to play, Mishawaka in the driver's seat at 44-12. And about 5 minutes from now, they can start putting their sights on the return of the backyard brawl. Next Friday, Mishawaka, Penn, say no more. And a substitution from the near side. Checking in for the Cavemen. And the pass play, oh my, to Durrell. And he gets buried. Durrell with the catch, but Durrell tomorrow morning when he tries to get out of bed, he may rethink that catch. That was a mighty good hit from the Caveman defense.
It's a violent game, Brian. It's a violent game.
Caveman defense, 5 returning starters from a year ago. And certainly they have got to be pleased with how they've played here in the second half. Toss sweep, near side, little shake and bake move. Good move there by Osman. He'll stutter step and look to get outside, and right in front of the Caveman bench area will be run out of bounds at the 45. Let's see where they mark it with progress, but they actually at the 44, gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, they are right at that stick.
Oh, yeah. 3rd and about 6 inches with 3:33 to play.
I'm surprised they didn't call for a measurement. Now they are. We're going to get a measurement, Brian, first one of the night.
Well, we got our punt that we had not yet seen in our smorgasbord of football.
No, we're not. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. That gives me an opportunity to send a shout out to a great friend of mine from the softball world and from just the Friends world. Long time Marion High School softball coach and girls golf coach, George Gritter. Want to send a shout out to him and continue good wishes for his recovery. He's had some recent health issues and some back surgeries that were troublesome to say the least. He's been home recovering. And I know all of our softball coaching fraternity in the area wish him and his wife Patty the best. And we hope to see George out and about here real soon. It has been a uphill battle, but George Credit, there's few guys better than George. I don't care if he wears that Marion blue or the Mishawaka maroon or whatever. Class act, and we wish him a speedy recovery continuing. So after the measurement, a first down determined by the officials with that chain gang on 1st and 10 now. Marion football, they'll throw it on the underneath and in and out of the hands twice. A double bobble, but also a yellow hanky in the backfield. Braxton Brooks just couldn't hold on to that, but a penalty will be whistled, I do believe, against Marion. So even if Brooks catches the football, it's not going to matter.
One of the new penalties, one of the new rule changes in high school is on a holding penalty. In the past, it was a spot foul. Now, if it is behind the line of scrimmage, it's the college rule. It's marked off from the line. I think that's a good penalty, a good rule change.
So a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage makes it 1st and 20 from the 34-yard line in Marion territory. They trail right now 44-12, looking for a little momentum heading into week number 2 when they host Culver Academy next Friday night at Otulski Field. Fake of the handoff. Lassane keeps it, turns and runs off right tackle. And he will be shut down after a short gain by the Caveman defense.
6, Camden Putz on the tackle.
Camden Putz, sophomore, getting the credits there from public address announcer Mike Bresky. Putz had a great high school baseball season. Camden earning the starting catching job middle part of April. And now getting the starting nod as a sophomore on defense for the LOD Mishawaka Caveman attack. Shotgun snap. Lassane back to pass. Looks left. Fires left. Has a man. Good catch and traffic out at the 50 and across midfield to the 48-yard line. Short of a first down, but a pickup of about 13 yards. Good catch in traffic right there by William Owens.
Complete to Williams, open Owens.
And Owens with that catch will set up his team on a 3rd down and 3 play. 3rd and a long 2 or 3rd and a short 3, but either way with 2 minutes to play. Marion again hoping for a little bit of momentum, trailing 44-12. Owens, he's a wide out to the far left-hand side. 2 slots left, single wide out right. Single set back is Osman. Shotgun by Lassane, send the man in motion. High snap, floater in the flat area, and it's just bobbled and dropped by Osman, incomplete, and that'll make it 4th down.
Yeah, you're right, Ryan. It's all about momentum right now, and Marion trying to end on a high note. They'd love to punch one in one more time, and conversely, it would be a great stop for Mishawaka here and let the young guys play out the last minute and a half.
Shotgun snap. Lassane. Toss sweep. Near side. Osman. And they unpile the bodies, but Marion will get the benefit of the positive real estate, needing 3, getting about 7, and a first down. Marion brought to you by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. And a minute 30 remain. Probably a couple more snaps of the football, though Marion does have 2 timeouts remaining, but I do not expect Mike Davidson or anybody to call a timeout at this stage, unless there is just something disastrous ready to take place. Shotgun snap. Lassane looks right, fires right in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That would be Jack DeRoll.
I know the score is 44-12. I like this Lassane kid, a quarterback. He is a big, strong kid. I like the way he throws. I think Marion's going to do all right. I think they're going to be much improved over last year. They just ran into a well-oiled Mishawaka Cavemen team.
Well, impressive opening night win, in particular when the class of 23, the 2023 class, was very well stated on their dominance over the last couple of seasons, and now a handoff from the inside slot man. Braxton Brooks sweeping from right to left, and he'll get dumped after a short gain out to the 40-yard line. Gain of 5, we're under a minute to play, and Mishawaka is just minutes away from starting this high school football season 1-0, finishing the 4 quarters of excellent football here on opening night. They lead 44-12. Play clock at 36. Game clock at 36, the play clock at 20. Lassane in the shotgun formation, waiting. Hand slap, and then the snap and catch and throw left side pass is complete. And it will be a first down for Marion. They needed 5. They picked up that and much, much more for the first down, brought to you by Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage. Clock down to 15, down to 12. Maybe one more snap for Marion. And Mishawaka can begin the celebration after this snap of the football. Lassane, shotgun, 2-step drop, looks, floats, over the middle, pass up for grabs. It is caught, it is up for grabs, and let's see who's got it. What will they rule? It is a touchback as the ball was intercepted by the Mishawaka Cavemen. I think there's some dispute on whether the ball was intercepted or not, but it does not matter because the clock has expired and this game is over. Final score from Steel Stadium, an impressive opening night victory for the Mishawaka Cavemen, the maroon and white, or the gray and maroon tonight, if you will. They win it 44-12. Stay tuned, our postgame show is just around the corner. We'll get a sideline report from Brady Gallo. We will certainly have scores and more with Matt Embry on the U.S. Sidecrafters School Board. And in a few moments, we'll visit with Mishawaka assistant coach Corey Betzer, who saw it upstairs here tonight, all with a Caveman victory. Again, the final, Mishawaka 44, Marion 12. We're back with a postgame show after this on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
You can't slow down time or rewind it, but you can be there for every moment, big and small. The speaking part in the school play. Acing the test they studied so hard for. Sinking that three-pointer to win the game. We're right there with you. At Mishawaka Schools, it's an honor to grow the next generation of future leaders. It's why everything we do and everything we offer is based on what's
just
best
this
for
1
your
minute.
child. Our student-focused culture and safe learning environment give your child the confidence to thrive in the classroom. And our award-winning arts, athletics, and extracurriculars provide every student with positive, creative experiences. From pre-K to senior year, Mishawaka Schools is there for all your child's moments, big and small, growing future leaders. Enroll today at pickmishawakaschools.com. Pickmishawakaschools.com. Growing future leaders, and here with you for all the moments, big and small.
All right, where Brady goes.
This is W241AD and WQLQ HD3 South Bend.
Bye.
New Country 96.1 The Ton.
This is the Mishawaka Cavemen postgame show on 96.1 The Ton.
Cavemen will go left to right, and this high floater will go back to around the 15-yard line. On the run, fielded there by Bryce. Brought forward to the 25, 30, 35, 40. He breaks it open field to the 50. He's going to go to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Mishawaka! And that's how this one started. Fans, welcome to the postgame show here from 96.1 The Ton. That opening kickoff for Ethan Bryce and Mishawaka High got things off to a fine start. And they would take care of business here, in particular with a very strong defensive effort in the second half to defeat city rival Mishawaka Marion 44-12. Downstairs, Brady Gallo for the Mishawaka Network with a sideline report. I'm sure there's probably a lot of smiling faces down there, Brady.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Hey, good job, guys. Yeah, spirits are running high down here for sure. I mean, that last play really just encapsulated the whole game. Marion just had nothing going offensively in the second half, couldn't move the ball. Complete opposite story from Mishawaka in the second half, and really the whole game. Started from the jump with that kickoff return, and really only got better from there. The offense started clicking, and I'm sure some people expected Mishawaka to take maybe a step back after last season, losing so many 2023 athletes who had success for such a long time. But the 2024s really stepped up with limited varsity experience and did a great job handling their business and out here securing a win. They continue to have Marion's number, and they're going to have a great season if they play like that the rest of the year.
So 44-12 the final score. Brady, I will let you go see if you can track down Coach Keith Kinder. Meanwhile, upstairs, assistant coach Corey Betzer is alongside. Corey, congratulations on the win. Your kids played extremely well. Hey, you got to love these veteran safeties of yours too, by the way.
They played pretty well, but we have a lot to clean up. Defensively, we bent quite a bit. We didn't break, but having the offense we have and using the clock, our defense isn't on the field a lot. So our offense does a lot for our defense.
Certainly, a lot of expectations each and every year. And I know it's been well documented about the strong senior class you guys had a year ago that graduated and so many holes to fill. Certainly 1 week in the books and a couple of weeks at full-out practice and in camp and so forth. You guys as a staff have to be pleased.
Yeah, it's nice to get out and play against somebody else. We had 7 first-time Friday Nighters on defense. I know we had a ton on offense as well. So, they're a little wet behind the ears. They got a little taste of what Friday Night Football is about. And, we've changed some things, the way we do in practice and what we expect out of the kids, and I think it's a bonus. Coach Kinder has pressed the middle 8, and that's the last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half, and I felt like we won those tonight. And when you win those, good